It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun Diary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun Diary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, Maiyegun don't come, my people make you shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Mbazo Yoruba. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ńlùú. Pressure ti wà. Èyìnbó kò ṣe sọ. Sẹ́yìn ìlú lé. Fún alówó wa anówó wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Náà ẹ sọ wá di lazy youth. Òun ni mo wà ní táìmù yìí tí mi ò lè lọ bí iṣẹ́. Kò sówó èmi kọ́ lè. Many people are.
Hello there.
Àwọn mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwọn mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary.
Thank you very much for joining me. Remember, share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Read the caption. Read the description, like I said. Get yourself in tune into what we are going to be discussing tonight. A judge accused of taking bribe in giving a fraudulent judgment in favor of dubious Dapo of Remo, the Ogun State governor. So he's promoted to the Supreme Court as a compensation, Lasarado bá wọlé pim. In Kogi, where they had one of the trial charade, you remember Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. Anyway, after the charade, they decided to go to court, starting with petition. I have heard that armed robbers have been robbing, bullion vans, robbing banks and stuffs like that. In my life, I have never seen armed men rob a petition, governorship election petition in Kogi, stolen by armed robbers. Do you know why Naira is scarce in Nigeria now? And it is going to be gradual until majority of you will scream out and cry out again before they will reverse it. Do you know why? No? I'll tell you. Dangote Refinery. Have you seen the video of the crude oil that they are taking to Dangote Refinery? Did you buy the lie too? Did you? No, I don't think so. Thank you for kind. Share this broadcast, invite your friends, like I said, share it far and wide. We are starting in a minute. So good morning to you once again, and good afternoon to you. Good evening to you, all of you, the Templars. I welcome you to the temple of truth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which side of the pendulum you belong to. The truth swings equally. And you are welcome. And as your MOG, Maiyegun, Overseer General of the Temple of Truth, I believe you have paid your own offering. Remember, you need to like the broadcast. That's the offering. You need to. Okay, and if you have done that, you only do that once. Just once. If you do it twice, that means you've taken it back. Thank you. Yes, Naira scarcity in Nigeria. You are beginning to witness empty cash machines, empty ATM machines. And a lot of you are wondering, what is going on? Someone called in from Abuja 2 nights ago just to express his own frustration when it comes to this particular subject. However, the Central Bank of Nigeria came out today and they released a presser, a press statement. Let me see if I can read that back to you. No, not that one, this one. So according to the Central Bank of Nigeria, the current Naira scarcity is true, is real. And for some reason, they have also received reports that counterfeiting, fake Naira are now in circulation, filling the gap of why are you not seeing money. Now, let me read this back to you before we continue. They said, the attention of the Central Bank of Nigeria has been drawn to the circulation of counterfeit banknotes, especially higher denominations, by some individuals for transactions in food markets and other commercial centers across major cities in the country. For the avoidance of doubt, Section 24 of the CBN Act 2007 as amended states that it shall be an offense punishable by term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years for any person to falsely make or counterfeit any banknote or coin issued by the bank, which is legal tender in Nigeria. The central bank is in constant collaboration with relevant security and financial agencies to confiscate fake Naira banknotes, arrest and prosecute counterfeiters. Members of the public are also encouraged to report anyone suspected of having counterfeit Naira notes to the nearest police station, branch of the Central Bank of Nigeria, or via this email, contact CBN at cbn.gov.ng, right? Meanwhile, all deposit money banks, financial houses, and bureau de change and the general public are enjoined to be more vigilant and take all necessary precautionary measures to curtail the acceptance and distribution of counterfeit notes, right? Now, say furthermore, the general public is encouraged to embrace alternative modes of payments. That's where I'm going. Said furthermore, the general public is encouraged to embrace alternative modes of payments, e-channels for pay-to-day transactions to mitigate the risk of spreading counterfeit notes. That is your answer. Emefiele introduced what he called cashless economy. And that is the economy where you will use less cash for transaction, your day-to-day transaction. Nigeria survives on the informal sector. The informal sector of Nigeria actually exists and operates based on cash-to-hand transaction, mostly. But for some reason, the policy failed. Initially, they said they were changing the Naira so that they will control the amount of Naira cash in circulation. So with that, according to them, in their voodoo economy, or voodoo economics, they said that's how they are going to control and mop up the cash in circulation. And for those who have stolen money, their friends, their colleagues and acquaintances, right, who have stolen money and stockpiled them, they will need to bring them out, account for the money, or they will lose the money. So to them, finally, in a space of 3 months, they could mop up all of the old money in Nigeria, everything. Okay? And the one they couldn't get will become invalid, like you can no longer spend it. So that policy failed. You know this inflation, hyperinflation that is affecting Nigeria right now. They are telling you different stories. They are blaming everyone they could blame. Sure you get. But what happened is this. Nothing has really changed. If anything has changed, they have gone even worse on that ifnumbu. So, in their own way of carrying out the cashless policy that no longer make any sense, they sent this out. That I know you all have a lot of platforms that you now use to transfer your money, but majority of them they are like apps. You don't go in there to deposit cash in those accounts. On your phones, you have different pay, payment switches, Abi. Those ones that those guys are always bragging about, those tech boys, that they have developed some ecosystem, blah, 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 and all that. Anyway, they sent this out, okay, just about 3 days ago. And it's like all deposit money banks, merchant banks, switches, mobile money operators, payment service banks, microfinance banks and mortgage banks, payment solution service providers, super agents, and others. Now you get the message, which happen to be majority of you who are doing POS. No be so, because I heard that POS is in Nigeria right now. It's like that of that time when MTN started, and everybody was doing the business of a phone call. Every corner phone call, recharge card for sale, and all of that. So they said that is exactly what the POS is now. Majority of people who have been unable to find jobs after school they mostly resorted into this as their own, So that's an economy created for them there. Somehow, the New Deal, which they have not told you. And you see me, I'm not going to say it to you using all of the economic jargons. I'm going to say it to you in layman language. In the language that says when 1 + 1, when you add 1 and 1 together, it is 2. Don't begin to speak jargons or whatever. Let me tell you what they are doing. In their mind, in order to control and force you to do the cashless economy, it has to start from making sure that your access to cash is limited, if not completely, you know what I mean, removed. And how can they do that? When you go to the ATM machine, remember, they could tell you that, oh, you can only withdraw so amount of money a day or and all that, yeah? Now, that is even pretty much like it's not really helping. So now when you go to the ATM machine, you will see empty machines. When you go inside the bank, the bank will tell you, do you have our app? What do you want to use the money for? You can transfer it. A lot of you have experienced, you have had worst of the worst experience with some of these generational banks until some of these fast, smarter, PayPoint and all of those came on board, Abby. So you have to find your way back to those banks. You have to go back into all those horrible charges they are taking from you when you make transfers through, all those stuffs. You have to kind of use them more now. And if there are those of you who are still going to be doing your POS and all that, your options are also going to be so limited, the amount of cash you have access to. But they can't announce that to all of you. That is where the problem is. If they had explained that to all of you, this is what we are trying to do, because according to them, the reason why Nigeria has hyperinflation right now is because there is too much money. Do you believe that there is too much money in circulation in Nigeria? And who are those with this chunk of money? Politicians who have the power to print money and then stockpile them. So, in the absence of trying to use voodoo economics to fix the problem of inflation, they want to use the voodoo now. They're about to create even worse problems. Because you would want to access cash, Abi, and a lot of you are going to fall victims of all the counterfeit money. You get that? You will fall victims of this. They are trying to mop the money out without telling you. And they are doing so, making sure their friends are not missing out in the largesse. As they are taking them away from this, they are returning them back to their folks, right? The problem is not solved because the cost of inflation is not only because they are printing money that has nothing to back it. It is because they've never invested in the economy that they are promising you that they want to come and change. So if I tell you that 2024, my deep gone, I think I know what I'm saying. And I think you should begin to also look into them too, if you have been nonchalant about that for whatever reason. So they are doing all this secretly. You are going to face this scarcity, all right? And until when they realize that a lot of you are beginning to actually understand the game, that why can't you just say you are trying to do what Emefiole tried and failed? You've already created confusion. Old note, new note. That one is already creating a bit of confusion itself, right? But right now, add the fake money to it. Counterfeit banknotes. And how many people are going to become victims of this in the same economy? So at the end of the day, what are they going to do? They are going to also secretly withdraw the idea. They have no plan. They do not. And that is what will take me to that of Dangote Refinery. Have you seen that video? The video where a ship vessel carrying what they announced as crude oil, 1 million liter crude oil, to Dangote Refinery that cannot refine one bottle of kerosene. The refinery that is not ready to even refine 1 teaspoonful of crude oil. But at least it seems that the PR is working. But we go shatter them here tonight. I have told you. Dollar. Which one is dollar has fallen to? I don't understand. How? Are you one of those who are giving the Naira motivational, what have you? Anyway, we'll come to that. A lot of us, I believe right now, are not really in too much darkness when it comes to all the the fraud surrounding Dangote Refinery. At first, okay, a lot of people believed that since Nigeria cannot build or maintain refinery, it would be a great idea for at least private sectors to go into that business. And since Nigeria has the crude oil, the gas, and if it is locally refined, and in a way, if the subsidy that Nigeria is borrowing money to pay, and that same subsidy is given through the oil swap with Dangote or any refiner that is ready to do that in Nigeria, Nigerians expect that will give control back to Nigerians from saying, control of saying your economy at least can begin to kind of, come back. But Dangote Refinery is a quota system project. A quota system project that is pretty much a conduit pipe for the criminals that looted and emptied Nigeria. Ran Nigeria aground and became the most indebted in Nigeria's history. So Dangote Refinery, even upon all of that, is not coming to serve the interest of Nigerians, but the interest of the criminals who use Nigeria money to put up this scam and scheme. Emefiele that took money from the Nigerian Foreign Reserve and gave it to Dangote in May 2023 came out and he said, Dangote has paid back 70% of the money. Today, Shishi has not been paid back. But the scam continued until this fresh one. And you should please remember that you are hearing it from this platform first. Like I said, it will be a thing of joy if indeed there is a Dangote refinery that is coming to serve and ameliorate the troubles and problems that the economies of Nigeria and even Nigerians have experienced and still experiencing. They took Nigeria money and gave it to him. Still, the refinery couldn't be delivered. They made a deal to give him crude oil almost for free. They said in Naira. Nobody has a clue about what the deal is, right? Then they promised them that he was going to start, they said he was going to start refining your crude oil and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Then they said, do not expect the liter of your petrol or gas to be cheaper because Dangote is a private business. So then they increased, they increased the pump price, preparing you, all of you, for when the Dangote refinery
will come on. Baba, even upon that, let it even come up. Let it start working. I mean, later, people can begin to make some extra, like a push and all of that, which is, I don't know, at least let it even start working. That would be a good thing, Abi. And I think that's what you want too. Now, because I am telling you, which is what I have been telling you, because I am saying it to you right now, that they are not even tired of the fraud, of the propaganda. And I am beginning to ask myself, why are they even doing this? But let me explain what they are doing to you so that you understand this propaganda. Okay? So they said they will give him crude oil. All right? And the crude oil will be in Naira. Like I said, nobody understands the deal. Okay? But is the refinery ready? Oh, yeah, give him crude oil. Oh, yeah, start refining. Abi? At least that can be the positive side. You can discuss other things later. But the point here is that Dangote Refinery is not even 50% complete. They have built tanks. Of course, you can see tank here, tank there. They are supposed to build tank in the refinery storage farm. They call them storage farm. For the finished product, for the crude oil, for everything that they are going to be doing in there, they need tank farms to keep them. That you are seeing video of pipes, video of this or that, that doesn't mean that they're going to switch up something there, switch it on, and it's going to start refining. They know it. Dangote has been trying to get Sifnumbu to come up that they will cut him his own soap. Bokwari that facilitated all the fraud they used the Central Bank of Nigeria to perpetuate for 6 years. No shishi. Nigerians in debt, in poverty. Tifnumbu is now asking that Emefiole, where is this money? Now, if they drag Emefiole, they're going to need to drag Dangote. And since May until now, Dangote has been trying to see Kolu and cut soap for him and say, Baba, now so deal with the share you get. If you feel release more money to balance up this job and complete the refinery, or even stand as a guarantor like Bokwari did for me, so that we can get more money and finish it up. We go cut you soap, we go cut you your own share. He hasn't been able to say that to Tifnumbu yet. But they started the propaganda of Nigeria has refused to supply Dangote Refinery crude oil since June. That was where the propaganda of the video you saw today, that was where it started from. You know, people were saying, so refinery is ready. How come they not give them crude oil? Why have they not given Dangote crude oil? People were asking, in case if you didn't notice. So that was like about 2 weeks ago. Then, today, they can't do, Dangote media can't do their usual media run propaganda. First, they captured the vessel. They said, this is the second batch of 1 million barrel crude oil that is about to be delivered to Dangote refineries, because the refinery starts work now. Angono. Alexa, how long does it take to refine 1 million barrel of crude oil?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, crude oil makes its way through the refinery on a timescale of hours.
Okay.
Each lot of 30,000 barrels usually took 12 to 24 hours to complete analytical testing to ensure quality, after which it was released for shipment. So I estimate about 3 to 4 weeks on average.
Thank you. Now, Alexa, increase the volume to the highest. Alexa, how many liters of petroleum will be found in 1 million barrel of crude oil?
From Answers.com, 1 barrel of crude oil makes 19.5 gallons of gasoline. which converts to 73.8 litres of petrol/gasoline.
Okay, so 152 liters. That makes sense. So which means, as it is, the bobo is to make you believe that there is a refinery that is working. And if the gamble of 1 million barrel of crude oil is sold to you, which means, I'm gonna Alexa, how many liters of petroleum is found in a barrel of crude oil? Again.
From Topper.com. Perimeter of a parallelogram is 2L plus B, where L is the length and B is the breadth of the parallelogram.
Kilonso. Alexa, how many liters of petroleum will be found?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated.
Okay.
The volume of a barrel of oil is 159 liters.
159.
Did that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Thanks for your feedback.
Great. So, 159 liters of petrol will be found in 1 barrel of crude oil. So, which means Dangote Refinery, which is Dangote, plus the NNPLC, they probably already have, in maybe another 2 weeks now, they already have a shipment of 159 million liters of petrol that will be delivered in Nigeria and march straight to Dangote Refinery tank farms. And as Nigerians that you are, hoping to be defrauded and deceived, make yourself wish that using wishes can always make things happen, not by asking critical questions, Abi. So when they deliver that, the whole propaganda will continue like that too. So they will just say, Dangote Refinery first petroleum. They go come bring Tifnumbu. No, say they don't conclude the deal. They don't have to turn the machine on. Sure you get. They don't have to, in any way, give you the data of how much of this production is going to start and how many are they going to be producing every day, refining every day. They don't have to tell you all of that. All they have to do is to show you the video of crude oil, Abi. Then after that, show you the tankers who are leaving Dangote Refinery at Lekki. Tankers loading petrol, loading diesel. Have you asked yourself that who are those who have been collecting subsidy money in Nigeria in the last 8 years? At least you know, say Nigeria has been paying subsidy, Abi. Have you ever asked yourself that who are those? Well, I have been asking, but we never know those who have been we don't know those who have been collecting the trillions and trillions and trillions. But guess what? Now NNPC guy, now that guy, in collaboration with the likes of Dangote and so many of them, why do you think they were all counting on Dangote refineries and started using Dangote refineries as the ultimate project of the Bokwari? Why do you think suddenly Dangote Refinery became APC, Egbekegbe's refinery? Because all the trillions, all the crude oil, stealing of crude oil, all of they were done by the same NNPC guys. Subsidy is gone, but Dangote Refinery have started production. So whatever scam and scheme they are pushing, I implore you to ask questions if you want to. All right? Because you should. This is the man that gave the judgment on, what do you call it? That gave the judgment on the Kano election. You get? Where the judiciary have been doing the Lord's work, Tifnumbu's work. So the head of the appeal court that dismissed Atiku and Obi's presidential petition and all that, Samani has been promoted to Supreme Court. Okay. This one in front of you, his name is Asemo Adume. Asemo Adume is Mr. Asemo Adume is an appeal court judge, the one that read the controversial Kano State governorship elections judgment, which has now thrown the Kano State into serious political turmoil, power play, and all that. He has been promoted to the Supreme Court. He's going to be a Supreme Court justice. Another person promoted to the Supreme Court as a Supreme Court justice is another one from Ogun State. No, not from Ogun State, sorry. It's the one that treated the governorship election dispute appeal, Ogun State governorship election appeal. And he was publicly exposed to have collected bribe, $5 million from dubious Dapo. No be me talkam o. Na Ladi Adebutu talkam. Nigeria is a crime scene. Don't let all those things kind of surprise you. So let me tell you some instances that will show you that, okay? So they said this judge collected money from dubious Dapo, okay, to ignore evidence and declare him winner. Just like some of you believe that they did in Obi and Atifu's case, Abi. So, however, Ladi Adebutu that is challenging dubious Dapo. Ladi Adebutu himself is also standing trial. EFCC is charging him for vote buying. That he was caught, or people that were working for him were caught with millions of Naira cash during the governorship election in Ogun State. However, yesterday morning, the news broke that the judge that collected $5 million bribe from Ogun State governor, dubious Dapo of Iremo, they said the Baba don't kick bucket to Otiku. I don't think he probably spent $100 from that money. Anyway, he died in the presence of his family. He was supposed to become a member of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Payback time, everyone is getting paid. And that is why, for those who gather for Abuja, asking that Wike must be sacked, you remember that those protesters? Ma, drink tea, I'm coming.
Stop, Jagaban.
Yes, sir. Nuisance, Lele.
I just want you to know, Wike has responded to those who are asking Tinubu to sack him. Just so you know that on his mandate, which is in return your own shege, they will stand. And it is just 6 months. Just 6 months. And now they complain like, say, are you babies? Stop complaining. So Wike gathered his own people too, who has been saying, leave him alone 2 days ago.
Mr. Wike is undermining the renewed hope agenda of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They further allege that the FCT under Barrister Wike has become an epicenter of controversies. Further questioned his land reforms and claimed that he is involved in land grabbing and dispossessing people of their properties. Nothing can be further from the truth than this well-rehearsed and repeated falsehood. Keen followers of the dynamic leadership of His Excellency, Barrister Nyesom Wike, are aware of his resolve to ensure that all owners revalidate their certificate of occupancy with new security features, which is the introduction of NIN for individuals and BVN for corporate bodies. It is in the public domain that since the coming of Barrister Wike as FCT Minister, he has been able to liaise with Corporate Affairs Commission, wherein they uncovered 189 fake companies that have been used to secure the allocation of choice lands in the federal capital. This discovery has led to the arrest, detention, and ongoing prosecution of 2 perpetrators of these crimes. It is normal for corrupt individuals and land grabbers to sacrifice everything they have acquired to frustrate this laudable initiative. We wouldn't be surprised if they further reinforce to cause anarchy in the city capital so as to derail this policy. The Honorable Minister, who inherited the menace of one-chance criminality in the FCT, has come up with a workable solution to the problem, which include rolling out buses and taxis to be driven by identified and well-profiled individuals. The political hirelings who raised the weighty allegation that the administration of the FCT Honorable Minister lacks accountability failed to give one example, speaking in innuendos. Our group have strong confidence in President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who excelled in flying colors from Chicago State University, to see the lies in the unsubstantiated claims of the groups who are on a mission to remove a minister whom they see as an obstacle to their quest to hide wealth that were acquired in corrupt means and can't be accounted for. The Patriotic Youth Forum wish to therefore commend His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike for the success recorded so far. The Abuja original inhabitants are with him. They will stand by him, and we also are ever ready to come out and counter any protest aimed at tarnishing the hard-earned reputation of the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, whereby dwindling his renewed vigor towards revitalizing the nation's capital. In conclusion, we hereby pass a vote.
Glorify your name to the call, owner of the day, owner of the beginning and the head. I glorify your name to the call, Father of the glory. There is nobody that can share the glory with you. You are beginning of the glory, you are everlasting glory. You are glorify your name to the call.
A lie. If you want to understand that Nigeria is a crime scene, and you don't understand that, just make sure you watch MaiyegunsDiary Politico. We really look for you, Nigeria. You see the one that can read. I don't know if some of you still remember those boys, those jobless beggars that they always hire in Abuja during the time of Bokwari. Do you remember, or have you forgotten? If you can read, your money na 5,000. Others now 1,000. Economy is hard now. I hope they pay them well. Did you see that speech they gave to him? 2,000 naira everybody. You go, I need 100 people. 2,000 naira times 100 people. How much is that? A lot, 2,000 naira. Is that not 20,000 naira? No. It should be 20,000, Abi. If 1,000 times 100 is 10,000, then it should be 20,000 naira. Abi, anyway. 2,000 naira per person I need for 200 people. You get 200 in Abuja. 2,000 naira. But if you can read, they will even mention the Chicago State University. A lot of you are researchers. Those of you who are researchers trying to research human evolution. I don't think, or should I say, there's something you are missing. We need you in Nigeria. Okay, 200K, 200K, 400K, yeah. And I'm not that bad, though.
I'm not really that bad in calculation. Sure you get, but I have you, and then you have my back. All of you are doing researches on human evolution. Homo sapien, Homo erectus. We need you to see if there are some Nigerians that have completed the human evolution. There are some Nigerians that they appear like normal human beings like this. The criminal politicians have destroyed them beyond repair simply because they never developed fully. What you get is, we need to check if majority of us actually we are human beings that are human beings. Because you see in Abuja, suffering and smiling. There are in Ghana, if your loved one dies and a lot of you feels like it will be too embarrassing for you to be seen to be tearing up and crying, you can hire people to cry at the burial. Now, when they want to come and cry, depends on how you want it. Do you want them to cry like morning mood, like that, or do you want them to put up act like falling down, like rolling on the floor? Like, do you want them to also choke and faint and all of that stuff? It depends what you want. Do you get that now? There are people, they will cry. Oh, you would think that their mama died. True story. Because now everything they funny to some of you. These days, a lot of you just look at me and just started smiling or laughing. But true story. Because there's somewhere I'm going with this. And some of you know that it's true story as well, by the way. In Nigeria, there are categories of protesters. If you want women to go naked for you, people will say you want rob. Because say somebody rob you, you won't contra say, they have stolen the mandate. They have stolen your mandate that you gave to me. You can hire people that can go naked or breast. You can hire you can hire people that are going to in any way go peacefully. You can hire protesters that can suddenly dress up as a Fulani or dress up as Igbo or dress up as Hausa. You can hire bishops and whatever you want them to do. If you want them to speak in tongue, you go see Reverend Father where they speak in tongue. You don't see them before? All these acts are there. They are all for hire in Abuja. That Abuja, you will see a lot of people, like 200. When they hear that people are protesting the economic hardship, Buhari must go, Buhari must go. Then you will see all these guys, they will gather and they will say, Buhari, we love Buhari, Buhari must stay, Buhari must, you know what I mean? And if you want them to go violent, like start burning properties, there are those you can hire too. If you want them, that those ones who are going to help you attack policemen and destroy things, you can. Politicians have all of this. They've created this category of Nigerians. So Wike couldn't find them, missing too. Or whether people come out can help Wike send a message or not, he will still want to say it himself, Abi. I'm sorry if this is going to annoy you, by the way. Wike himself, in his usual way, had this to say.
Yesterday, somebody told me that there are some people who were carrying placards. Because, frankly speaking, I don't have time to even see that. I was busy. I don't want to be distracted. I want to be focused and deliver on the mandate Mr. President has given to us. But one thing you must also understand, that this is democracy. So many people are entitled to their opinions. But what is important is your opinion must be in line of what is good for the people of the FCT. We can't continue to do the same thing, the same way, and expect to achieve different results. One of the big things about leadership is that you must be firm, you must be bold, you must be courageous to take a decision. And we have taken a decision to make sure our people are happy with this administration. We have taken a decision to make sure we do the best for the people as mandated by Mr. President. In policies you make, it may not favor so many people, but what is important is the generality of the people, not few people who benefit at the detriment of others. You know, when you bring a policy that will bring change, so many people will kick against it. Those who benefit, the few that benefit, will kick against it. But when you are focused and firm, they have no choice but to come back and align themselves with the policies of government. This is a hard time. We must take decisions, no matter how hard it is. But what's important is at the end of the day, the people should benefit from it. And so, let nobody bother himself that there are people who were paid. Yes, they've collected the money and that has ended yesterday. So we are used to all this. So nobody should be worried that people are demonstrating. If they don't demonstrate, is it therefore that will demonstrate? So don't bother yourself. People must have work to do. What we want people to ask us, what have we achieved in these 3 months that Mr. President has given us? What have we achieved? We can boldly tell Nigerians that in these 3 months, with the support of Mr. President, this is what we have done, this is what we have done, and by the grace of God, in the 1 year office of Mr. President, Nigerians will see what Mr. President has done in FCT, and that is what we stand for. By May 29, 2024, FCT will roll out its achievement as far as the administration of Mr. President is concerned. So today, just like the...
Find out in the first 100 to 200 days in office, what should citizens expect to see if you're elected as president, sir?
Day 1, hit the ground running. Day 2, continue running. Day 3, don't rest.
Find out in the first 100 to...
I know he didn't have much to say, didn't have anything to say. I just wanted you to probably just hear from him that if he has anything to add to those who are protesting against him. It is for the interest of the generality of the people. So if some people are going to be uncomfortable that they are going to take over their land and give it back to themselves, it is just for the benefit of the people. We'll go there when that time comes. Abi Wike ko, Wiri Wike throwback. Ladies and gentlemen.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gotten to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job. Of poverty is a good job. Of insecurity is a good job. Of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. May God forgive. May God never allow that people to continue to.
What kind of psychophancy? Omoshotiri psychophancy. The textbook definition of psychophancy. You want to see it, eh? Okay. Wike, yeah, dance for us. Just, yeah, a little bit. Come on. Show us some moves.
Tell your money what's Jagaban. Stop Jagaban.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this.
You see what they reduced with a Wike to? Inside Gbajabia Mole's office, they told Wike who came in to come and sign some document. Ayema. You cannot shame the shameless, of course. Wiri Wike, Emperor Wike, Ikwere Adolf Hitler, the little emperor. Go Gbaja's office. Gbaja removed his phone and said, Minister, dance for me. What do you want me to do? What kind of dance? Dance, any song. I want you to sing for me. Wiri Wike, Emperor Potakotu. Then we'll video again.
Tell your money what's Jagaban. Stop Jagaban.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this.
Gbaja. Gbaja via Mole. I bet it. He will just sit down there and he'll be like, oh God. Hey, Wike PDP. Dance for me. Come on, man. Come on. I'm going to record it too. Minister, I want you to dance for me. I'm going to record it and keep it on my phone so that I can share it on social media. Oh yeah, Minister, start dancing like that. Wike now was doing this. He's doing this. Bajabi Amiela now said, inside the Chief of Staff's office, I like this. But some of you will think, maybe that video will do anything to Wike. No, we are going to laugh at that video. Whenever Wike's time comes, that they are going to throw him under the bus. That's the most we can do. Laugh, make a joke. You remember that of Dino Melaye? Dino, you remember that? He was making a joke, he was having fun, he was mocking somebody. But when his time came, the video surfaced. One day, if they can do that in that public, that somebody recorded it, Baba, just imagine what these guys do for power when the light is off, when the curtain is closed. Just imagine it. For power, and this is why.
About the relationship between money and power. They're very uncomfortable bedfellows because the one normally seeks the other. What is the point of having a lot of money if you have no power? So very quickly, rich people start trying to translate that wealth into power. They start cozying up to politicians. They start trying to be politicians. And the opposite is also true. What is the point of having all this power and you're poor? So politicians start trying to monetize their power into wealth. And that is where corruption starts. So the relationship between money and power really is one that, if not managed well, destroys countries. And it's a difficult relationship because the one inevitably leads to the other. And how do you manage that? We face that challenge now. I think as First Lady, the question I always get asked is, how are you going to make sure that your business interests don't conflict with your existing role? What my husband and I have decided is we're going to do declarations. It's not required of me, it's not required of him, but we will declare all of our assets. And in that way, people can know what you own, where it is. I don't want to hide through proxies. And they can see where the wealth that you have has been created and not have to suspect you each time you buy expensive things that you stole it from the people. So declaration of assets, transparency, and communication are key issues in leadership. It's a double-edged sword. I don't necessarily want everybody to know what I own and how much it's worth, but I guess there's a bigger price to leadership at times. But it also comes down to a personal discomfort about.
She's the first lady of an African country giving that speech, explaining the connection between power and money. The two lovebirds that are, in love or connected by corruption. That's a brilliant, presentation there. The greed that comes with having access to power. But in Nigeria, where there are no consequences for actions, they do it, they get away with it, they do it again, they get compensated for it, and they do it again. And that is why we agree that Nigeria is a crime scene. In Zamfara, the poor Zamfara, Matawale was their governor for just 4 years. Now, in that 4 years, Matawale turned Zamfara's money to his, and Zamfara resources to his families. Now, he left, he was defeated in their Charade election, right? Even though he's still in court, trying to come back. Okay? But when this guy left the government house in May, Ogbeni just packed all the vehicles bought with public money. And he took them away. And he said they were his. He bought them. The person who is the new governor or the new government should go and buy their own. This guy go to court. And the court said they should give him the car back. Meanwhile, another court has now said they should take the cars from him. What does he want to do with all of these cars? He's not being held responsible for his crime. Looting. Zamfarabi. He got compensated. He is currently the Minister of State for Security in Nigeria. Minister of State for Defense. He is a defense minister in Nigeria today. But when the court said, go get all those cars from him, the court didn't say he must be arrested. He's committed a crime. But they are going to Supreme Court. Supreme Court is going to say, give the cars back to him. With publicly funded vehicles, power, greed, and wealth.
These are the operational vehicles that the Zamfara state government claimed were stolen by the immediate past governor and recovered from his residences in Gusau and Maiyegun town, the local headquarters. The press secretary to the present governor, Sani Sambo, said about 50 vehicles were recovered following the Federal High Court, Sokoto Division's verdict that the vehicles belonged to the Zamfara government. He said due process was carefully followed to recover the vehicles from the two residences of the former governor, who earlier denied stealing government property when he was leaving office.
Right now, as far as the court is concerned, the vehicles behind me here belong to the Zamfara State government. So we see that some are still being brought. From day before yesterday, some drivers had been very busy along with security men bringing them. Right now that I'm talking, behind me are some of the vehicles coming. So perhaps we could have up to 50 that have been taken away. And the question one will be asking, every right-thinking person will be asking is, where was he going with all this vehicle?
The press secretary said that the Governor Dauda Lawal-led administration is doing everything possible to bring about the desired development in the state, but not to witch hunt or project anyone in a bad light.
Are we projecting them in bad light when we help him to bring what is not his to the government house for the people? They can make claims. You know, anybody who feels that by doing good to the people, you are exposing his own recklessness with financial resources or using the seat of power for personal gains and sentiment, you will get irritated.
All classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Greed. Somebody said Nigerian politicians and vehicles. That's what they do. That's what they use the billions to buy. They love it. They love to have other convoy. The convoy of 200 cars on tarred roads, dusty roads, just to show that one man is coming, is the governor. Nigeria. That they had to go to court to go and retrieve stolen vehicles, stolen government vehicles. Those are your leaders. He is currently in charge of the defense ministry, trying to bring security to Nigeria and give you security. Oh, God damn it, man. Anyway, let me take you to another one, okay? And this time around, it is Dino Melaye. Dino have started... Dino for president, 2027. On a joke. No funny. Dino is now mobilizing all the oppositions in Nigeria in order to save Nigeria. Omo. Hello, get ready. Messiah Dino, what do you say?
Populists who are the illiterate, who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance.
To start with, this is a meeting by opposition political parties in Nigeria, and it's our maiden meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to galvanize the support of political parties towards judicial and electoral reforms in this country, towards good governance, towards reforming our electoral process. And today we have adopted a name, and the name of this group will be Conference of Opposition Political Parties in Nigeria, COPIN. And by the grace of God, it was a very fruitful meeting. The Labour Party delegation was led by Chief, and we also have the delegation of ABGA, led here by, yes, and we have the apology of few political parties, but we've all agreed that as opposition political parties in this country, we are going to work together to end the pain and end the shame, democratic shame in this country. We want to make sure that we visibly meet to discuss issues of electoral reform, issues of judicial reform, issues of INEC, issues of rigging, and how we can partner together as opposition political parties in this country to work together to end the democratic shame and the democratic pain in this country, especially from the last elections we've seen in Kogi and Imo. We believe that we cannot continue like this as a country. There's a need for amelioration, there's a need for palliation, there's a need for correction. And we have resolved that I, as the convener of this meeting, will drive the political parties, opposition political parties in this country, to do the needful and to keep the party in power in check, to make sure that our democratic ideals, our democratic doctrines, our democratic tenets in this country is respected, and that there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be egalitarianism in our democracy in this country. And we believe that we have adjourned to meet in a date that will be announced, and we are going to take this very seriously. And the battle to rescue this country democratically for all opposition political parties is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we are all committed to this cause.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
So Dino, the rescuer, he said coping. Coping. I don't say all of you will have to cope. This is 2024. Under this Steve Numbu, it is either you learn how to fight or you learn how to cope. So even political parties, opposition political party, they are going to be coping. Answer. Somebody was asking somebody said, are you saying the person that stole those cars is now a minister of defense in Nigeria? No be joke, yo. And the Matawale be this, so. Sure you get this guy. Man. If you know what this guy did to Zamfara State in 4 years, the insecurity, how it spread, the loss of lives, just like the shitty man, Alhaji Beriberi. Now, shitty man, when he was governor in Borno, that was when the Boko Haram terrorism escalated to what it became at the time, including housing the wanted terrorists at the time in government house, knowing that the police cannot come into the government house to search the government house. And it was a good luck Egbere Jolanthan that was the president then. Like Chitiman, you see this Matawale, the devil incarnate, he doesn't even live in Zamfara. I mean, that is whenever he's in Nigeria. Okay? Matawale was able to annex every resources on the ground, under the land, in the bank, wherever it is, that has any iota of Zamfara attached to it, automatically become his. When the terrorists, Fulani terrorists, that invaded Zamfara, when they started their operation, people said, these ones are not herdsmen. No. These ones are like Boko Haram, pretending to be herdsmen, because they said their operation, the way they attack villages, the way they kill people and burn the houses and all of that, in Zamfara is 100% similar to how Boko Haram has been operating. They screamed and screamed and screamed. Nobody heard them because, for some reason, those in Zamfara are mostly farmers. They needed their lands. If you go to Zamfara State today, you will see different dog holes where
they have managed to either extract something here or there, gold, name it. They were killing people on their farms. And within a week or so, they will bring in machineries to those places. They will bring in young men and women, children. They will begin to dig the ground they have and extract whatever they can get. And guess who collects all the gold from them? Matawale, their governor. And he told them, Zamfara gold belonged to Zamfara people, making those people believe that the prosperity that came to Zamfara belonged to them, even if they are bleeding for now. He will keep it for them in Dubai. Zamfara gold are supposedly somewhere in a vault in Dubai. Thousands of people were slaughtered and killed, turned homeless. This number of internally displaced persons in Nigeria that has skyrocketed from 1 million naira to nearly 10 million people. I mean, I said 1 million naira. From 1 million people who are refugees in 2015, the number has now skyrocketed to over 9 million. Nearly 10 million internally displaced Nigerians go to Zamfara. And when you look at all those villages that they killed people, killed them and chased them away, majority of them are probably inhabitable anymore. They have dog holes, dog pits, extracting different, whatever they could get. This guy just married I think, fourth wife. He married second, he married third, and he married fourth wife. And he took the fourth wife to America to go and give birth. When people were being slaughtered in Zamfara, they were in America waiting for his wife's childbirth. Trying to support his wife who just put to bed, the governor of Zamfara. Now, on the day he was leaving government, he packed all the cars, brand new cars bought with government money, and he took them away. Few months after, 2 months after that, Tifnumu made him Minister of Defense. Yeah, Minister of Defense of State in Nigeria. You think when we say Nigeria is a crime scene, we're making it up, Abi? You have no idea. Now they said the politicians are coming together, opposition, and the one they said represented the Labour Party. Listen to him.
Populists who are the electorate who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance, occasioned by bad electoral processes, as led by Yakubu Mahmoud. For us, for things to work, this partnership is for electoral, judicial, and constitutional reform that will help in improving our electoral atmosphere, that will make sure that one man, one vote will be the issue, that will make sure that anybody who goes to cast his vote will be sure that his vote will be counted, that will make sure that Nigerians will have confidence in the electoral process again. Because as it stands today, let me tell you, we have one of the worst democratic process going on right now, because the way the Electoral Commission is managing the process. And I tell you, it's very also important, as part of the electoral reform that we're pursuing, that the commission will be unbundled. Because as today, the commission is overburdened, and because of that nature of weight, commission is acting as state, as someone who is protection of the state, who work and conduct election as if the interest is to protect parties in government. The opposition parties have suffered more over the years, because when you go to election, you have to work along with the fact that the electoral system is working against you from day one. And Labour Party suffered more in the last election. So for all this to work, the parties must be united. They must come together to have a focus on now the electoral system must be fair, electoral system must be credible, and the electoral system must represent the true wishes and aspirations of our people.
All right, thank you. Please, I have a little question. Whatever you are doing in this coalition ends up at the National Assembly. This conference ends up at the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is headed by somebody to do the right thing and to restore the right political.
The National Assembly is the people's house, and they will know that when the Nigerian people speak and have a reform that will protect the general interests of our people, that they will not work against it. Because one, the National Assembly does not only consist of the ruling party; it consists of all other parties like the PDP and the Labour Party and the NNPP, then ABGA. So we are going there to present something that will save Nigeria from this shame, from this international embarrassment, something that will give light and give life to our electoral processes. something that will enrich our democratic practice, something that will give growth and development to our people. Because why? Because elections are not fair, because elections are not credible, is the reason why those who get into government misbehave, because they are not elected by the people. When our elections start to have these ingredients, that credentials, that is fair, that is credible, and that is only by the vote of the people that you can be elected, you will find out those who get into office will be responsible and be responsive to the earnings of our people.
Ikura, the National Vice Chairman, North Central Abga.
Okay, let's hear from the Abga.
It's okay, it's all right. Now English, you still they talk. So let's wish them good luck. Okay? I just thought you should know that there is another group now called the Coping, and it's going to be the coalition of opposition parties against Tifnumbu, and they want to do a reform. They want to unbundle the INEC. They want to reform the Judiciary. They want to reform INEC and all of that. So they want make Kolu using own hand to set himself up like they expected Bokuwari to conduct credible elections against himself in 2019. Nevertheless, right? We wish them all the best. Listen to this for a few minutes.
Yes, indeed. So ever since...
Oh, hang on. I think we've jumped one, okay? One of Tifnumbu's ministers currently benefiting from the corrupt judiciary that has been, you know what I mean, like Gandola said. Listen to this. Gandola said, Tifnumbu has approved the blueprint, his own blueprint on how they are going to ensure that the entire eastern part of Nigeria will become APC. You get that? However, because they have the judiciary, okay? And when I say they have the judiciary, I think I had a clip, a picture. I don't have that anymore, where the Chief Justice of Nigeria was bowing down for Gandola. So you see this guy, he lost his election. They lost the state, Plateau State, okay? And he happened to be the Tifnumbu's presidential campaign chairman or whatever. And he was awarded the minister, as a minister, he became a minister, okay? Compensated, rather. He was compensated. Then the court just came back and said, well, he won an election that he didn't win during the poll. You know why? Make I tell you. A lot of you have been hearing about Kano. I don't think some of you are paying attention to Plateau State, and the scheme that is going on there. I don't think some of you are paying attention. The Nigeria court is about to remove their governor because, according to them, he was not properly nominated by PDP. The court has already removed all of the PDP members in the State House of Assembly. He removed all of them. Removed National Assembly members. I mean, in one single ruling, the courts in Plateau State, the appeal court, ruled that all the 16 House of Assembly members of PDP who won their election because they were not properly nominated. So therefore, PDP had no candidates in 2023 election in Plateau State. The same thing they said is pre-election matter for Tifnumbu. Pre-election matter when it came to Shitty Man. Pre-election matter here and Diaby is no longer pre-election matter. So right now, APC, without winning elections, they are now controlling the Plateau State House of Assembly. And in another few days, they are going to take control of the government house of Plateau State. Here you get. So, Lalong that lost has been reinstated by the... Now, he's now confused. Should make her just continue as a minister? Or make her just go to the National Assembly and, you know, I just they chop my... He said he's confused and he needs people's advice in this economy.
Immediately, I gave autonomy to local governments in my state. I gave autonomy to House of Assembly. I gave autonomy to Judiciary. And all of them came and said, okay, The states should also copy and do it. Where are those states? So I'm sorry when I told Comrade Aremu, I said NYSC was going to Imo about salaries in Imo. I said, if you ask me, go to 28 states where they are not paying salaries. What are you doing about those ones? Don't pick one. Don't just pick one and go there. It means that you are picking one because Imo is your state. You are concerned about Imo. I am aware that most of the states are not keeping to it. Even the 30% minimum wage. Immediately we went back. I started my 30% minimum wage up to the time I left. So I can stand here and say, so all are things that you will not know. But somebody one day, when they call me to give award, I remind them that it's part of these things that we did, whether accidentally or deliberately. And so for workers, the best thing I always know is when I see workers are very happy. The day I was appointed, Comrade Aremu is there. I said, after the problem in Plateau, they are moving me to another problem. But I have no reason to complain. By the time I got there, I saw almost all the people that are working with me are very friendly people, those I've worked with. And that is why I always say the renewed hope is hope for everybody, including all of you union leaders and civil servants. So I want to use the opportunity to thank you very much for this award. And as evidence of kind gesture too, Remuzo reminded me that today is the fellowship, today is the 40th anniversary. So I have asked him and said, for me as a minister, I will now make it today, declare that they should go and process and give awards, a fellowship to fellowship of MNILS as part of celebration for this 40th anniversary, so that these awards can be given to people in recognition. In recognition. So that is what I will say. I don't want to say much, because each time I'm with him, he will remind me that please don't go to Senate. Please remain with us at the Ministry for Labor. Maybe that is not what my constituency will also say, because as I am now, I'm a very confused man. Because whether to go to left or go to right, but pray for me to take the best decision. If I remain with you, I will remain as a comrade. But if I go there, as I told Comrade Shomale, I said they mentioned you to go and speak on behalf of the labor. I said no, Comrade Aremu should speak. They said why? I said as a senator, I think you have partly committed class suicide. You may be shifting a little bit, but we will see.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
He's a confused man. He's not confused. He's just want to weigh the option of, as a labor minister, I go there in charge of billions. But if anything should happen to Kolu, I may no longer have access to this billion. They go remove me like that. But if I go to Senate, that one is guaranteed. I can throw my weight around. Apart from the 600 to 700 million that he's going to make in a year, he can still make more by, throwing the weight here and there, corner some budget padding and the rest, and even make more than, $1 billion a year, every year. And in 4 years, he can make that. And everybody go just say, now all of them be thief, all of them be thief. They will say, he's the minister, we stole so and so. So he's not confused. They carry too much pack for his front. Nigeria Judiciary is helping the plebiscite that is going to take place about Nigeria very soon. And yeah, let them do as they like. Right. So I think I have another thing I want to share with you as well. And I'm gonna. I think it's another one, okay? So, and this is what I want you to listen to, just for 5 minutes.
Yes, indeed. So, ever since eight persons were kidnapped, 2 initially were rescued. We understand 2 more have been rescued, so you're waiting for some more. So tell us how the NYSC went about this one. Good news, and at least well done so far. 2 have been released, additional 2, so we're waiting for 4 more now. So what's the backstory concerning how this came through?
Oh, well, we really thank God. Yesterday, we were all excited to hear that 2 of our prospective corps members that were kidnapped in the Zamfara saga were rescued by the military. It's a thing to be happy. It's hope for all of us, hope for the family, that even the remaining 4, 2 girls, 2 boys, will still be rescued very soon. At least the hope is rising every day. It's been worrisome for us in the scheme over this number of months, that these young ones that are coming up to serve their fatherland were kidnapped on their way to Sokoto. Recall there were 11 in number, and 3 escaped at the point of kidnap, remaining 8 and the driver, and they took them to the bush. On the 1st of September, we were able to got 1 rescued. On the 20th of October, another girl was rescued. Just yesterday, we also have 2 out from the den of the kidnappers. And they are in the hospital getting medical attention. And I want to believe once they are strong, they will reunite with their families and get on with their national service. We are so happy and we're excited. The DG told the entire nation that we will stop at nothing to ensure that these prospective corps members are rescued unhurt, and that is what we are having. What just happened is that there is hope for the remaining 4 that are still in the kidnappers' name.
I mean, it was 2 days ago that there were some headlines. Parents of some of these persons who were kidnapped were just saying the NYSC should not abandon the parents to their fate. So I'll be gladdening that these 2 have been released. And then you said there's hope for the other 4. Is there any communication whatsoever, any indication that these other 4 are still alive?
Oh yes. With what the military is doing, of course, you know, security issues are not supposed to be discussed open. But we have strong hope and believe that everything is good with them. And while they keep on making efforts to get them rescued, as soon as they are out, I'm sure all of us will be informed and we'll all be happy for it.
Pastor, pastor, àwọn ọmọ ìjọ sticker ló ń ṣọ́ wa, àṣẹ kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má dira o, ìpápá ẹ̀rọ arúnrin, yẹ́n wà ní báàbù tó ń jẹ, kò jẹ́ gbèsè àgbẹ̀tọ̀ àbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ joko jẹ̀rà, gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù, àwòyí àárín. Mo mọ̀ yín pé wà nínú báàbù pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù, kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má dira, ayé bàjẹ́.
Ikú pa ẹ́ nìyẹn. The reason why I said you should listen, you should watch that video before I tell you about it is that is a representative of the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, the compulsory 1-year service, national service after your graduation from school, universities or colleges in Nigeria. In this year alone, they have kidnapped more than 50 youth corpers. Some
their family members have paid ransom, okay, to get them released. There are others who have been in that captivity for the past 6-7 months. Whether they are still alive or dead, nobody is sure. But you see what Nigeria is that if you die trying to save or serve Nigeria, you die wrongfully. They carry your body go police station. You die wrongfully. You remember that song? Oh God, die wrongfully. Equal giver. Equal mistake. To serve Nigeria is not by force. I pledge to Nigeria, my country. To serve Nigeria is not by force. Amen. That is the pledge. And that is exactly how they're going to play it down on their national TV. You are not of any... I mean, you see, they say if you see an American soldier, for example, if you see an American soldier and a completely kitted American soldier, they say everything that is on that American soldier, if you put everything together, is about maybe $45,000. You know what I mean? The gear, the helmet, the gun, the everything, it's about $45,000 US. Oh, I think I have actually reduced it. It's pretty much than that, isn't it? Anyway, just managing like that. Therefore, every soldier in America is considered to be an asset, a very valuable asset. So when you see a single soldier in America, okay, it is like a weapon. Sure, you get it's like a weapon. She's like a weapon. The training, the whole thing that the American military invested in that person has now made the value of each American soldier to be like about $400,000 US. So when you kill one American soldier, that's why if you kidnap American soldier and they want to know if he's still alive or she's still alive, they will pull every weight, every resources, and they will move the earth just to rescue one soldier. Because as long as that soldier is active, assets in you, one single soldier, American soldier, except if na Bobo Sha, but I just believe she say one American soldier alone can take down more than 10 civilians. I don't want to know what training you have. If the thing don't turn to ojuti change, let me know my last. You kill me or I kill you. Somebody must come out of that place alive. And it is between you and the American soldier. The moment here, if you not be 10, save you. Not like that of Nigeria, where no be person will chop. No person will know. Which, I mean, I don't want to downgrade some of you because there are real soldiers among you. There are some of you who believe that they called you to come and serve Nigeria and you are doing it for the fatherland. I'm so sorry for your ignorance, okay? But you understand what I'm saying. Majority of those who are in your soldier today, Abi, they are doing so just because they have no other option and they have to do something else. How are they going to feed or live? Same thing with some of the policemen too. So when it now comes to the National Youth Service, do you know what it takes to actually make up a graduate? Ask parents. Ask parents who raise a child to the age of graduation and graduated and wants to go and service our fatherland or work kidnap. That's the way I see it too. If you sit down as a parent and you take a look at how much does it take to raise a child, educate that child until they become graduates, a serious asset. How much do you think a graduate is worth? If to say Nigeria is a real place, how much do you think a graduate is worth in making a graduate, to make you a graduate? Education and all of that. There's some ragtag criminals who drag them when they are in their bus, going to serve the fatherland, supposedly. And the fatherland no give a damn about them. Eh? How many times will they tell you?
How many times will they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. Oh. Now mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise. How many times?
That is what some of you will read. They kidnapped NYSC core members. Hey, God, may God let them see them. Nigeria will be great one day. And by the grace of inshallah in Jesus' name, Nigeria will be great one day. May God just let them leave them. Meanwhile, you are back to your own miserable life, where you believe that it is one God, Sky Daddy, that is going to come and save you when you are pretty much in bed with the rogues who gives no damn about your life. Because that's what the situation has become now. They tell you, say they post you to Shokoto, they shall know our parent. You know, pity your parent, pity your guardians. Look at Nigeria. Look at what it takes to raise a child now. You want to, yeah, I want to know Nigeria better. So you schooled in Ogun State. You want to go and know Nigeria better in Zamfara. All of you will be parents. You better get serious with your lives. You better get serious with your lives. If they kidnap your children, I want to serve Nigeria. They have posted me to Enugu. Kilo nlo shile Enugu. You graduated from Calabar. You say you want to go to Sokoto to go and serve. That don't serve. Who are you serving? Who? Serving who? You better think, all of you now. You want to know Nigeria better. Which Nigeria are you knowing better? Oh, Lossy Google. If you want to know about Nigeria better, go on to Google. Or else, you are gone. And so they go talk. What about others? Are they still alive? Oh, the military is working. We are working to rescue them. And you know they are not. Nobody is working to rescue you. Oh, Lord, oh, the parfait. I'll pade. Oh, I tell you, I'll pade. Let's say Jesus. Have people motivated 40 million? Where you think say your parents are going to see 20 million for ransom? Nibiti akoni yara wa. Aorira wa. Audi mora wa. Jesus Christ lo man sheshia man. Oh Lord, I'm serving Nigeria. I'm serving my country. I have to serve my, it's to serve Nigeria. Can't you sit down? Maiyegun, we are going to fly down there. Fly down there. I tell you now, some of you are already packing your bags. Now Kebi them post you too. Now Nasarawa them post you too. You want to serve Nigeria. So shake me mobile. All of you naturally. Allah Maiyeki aye TBS munyon. You know, say whether you are rich or you are poor, as long as in Nigeria of today, where people always kill what they eat, if they don't go out to go and kill something to eat, they will starve. Even though they owe nothing to even kill to eat outside anymore anyway, but nevertheless, they still have to go. If it gets to a stage that you can no longer go outside to go and get what you can, and there is no any support for you to make you leave, Baba, beg on your yo. Those people where they tell you say some people no want, some people are trying to destroy you, my enemy, all those things. Sometimes you are your own enemy. Oh. I don't know who you want to impress. Oh. NYSC said, if you are going to any service anywhere, just make sure say you cram 2 numbers. And these 2 numbers may be numbers that will save your life when you get kidnapped. NYSC no sobe. NYSC no they pay ransom. Police no go look for you. And that's what Nigeria has become. Do not try to find out whether it is true or not. Because your experience here, if you survive it, the trauma, will make the rest of your life a hell. Therapy, you end up having to say, I'm trying to get to say, what happened, Sandra? You look so sad again. What happened? It is that trauma again. Trauma. What happened? I thought you were already seeing a doctor, and then you just got promoted. Just about 6 months ago. Was that no? You got married. Great job. Everything looks great. What happened? Sandra, you look so... What happened? You remember that time when they kidnapped me for Nigeria? Boy, that's what I'm saying. I thought you've gotten help. You've moved on. I don't move on, no. Now 3 months I used there. Trauma, trauma. You know that time where you have to like burst out crying. That you have no idea what I'm actually bottling up. Seriously. PTSD, that's what they call it. You have no idea what I've been bottling up. Kilo day, that was 15 years ago. It seems like yesterday. It looks like 15 minutes ago. Trauma long paper. Why do you want to put yourself into that? Why do you want to find out? If you finished at Oshiele, Jacob post Elosoni Kolobo. Kini big deal. If you finish at OAU in Ife, just post Elososogbo Oshun Loshiwa. Kilo nwa lo si Niger. Why you post you to Oshogbo? You graduated from OOU in Agoiwoye. Make them post you to Ejebode. Kolosa Fumbe. If you graduated in Nasarawa, make them post you to Gusau. There's no point in going to Ekiti. Kilo Veloshi, what do you want to? Munano Gode. Munano Gode Babu Ekiti. Kilo Veloshi Lekiti. You graduated in Unsuka, Enugu. Alaye, stay inside Enugu city. Oko wa Akanu Ibiam airport kulo serve. Go to Akanu Ibiam. Abi Akanu Ibiam. Find somewhere closer. What are you looking for, Vemo Nigeria? You see the purpose why they set up that NYSC. The purpose has been defeated. See all of you today. See. All of you will be graduated. See, graduated people who served all over the place in Nigeria. See what you turn to. Bigotti. Go to the bigotti. From north to the east, to the west, to here and there. They do local championship, Champions League of ethnic bigots. Now where they serve everywhere be that too. You met Emeka, met Aliyu, you met Demola, you met everybody from everywhere. You built bond, you built relationship. You were happy. You were mixing with everybody before this Boko Haram came. But today, now you be the champion of I will defend this. Don't talk to me like that. You people are you hate us. I hate you. I hate this speaking. All of you are the mentor. And when I see they tell your junior brothers and sisters to go and serve Nigeria. It's a question no man Rojumomio in Temoto Camilla Aragon. Or Arabiamo de Lontami. Because myself don't born. As a parent, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. If suddenly Kofo, my daughter, says, Daddy, I have been posted to Zamfara. We need definitely to send letter and say, oh yeah, put it on video call. Put it on video call. Oh yeah, but yeah. Tear everything down. Koni dafun service. NYSC service call. Service and bail. I am saying this because I can't imagine what the parents of those who are now in the captivity of these terrorists up north, especially the females. Horrible things that you can imagine. Because you want to serve Nigeria. She call you serve Nigeria. Ni? Call you. The same call you that said, suddenly they said, Adewale. I bet, wait till be that call you's name on that NYSC. Wait till be that name again. That name that popped up that time that they said call Bola Ahmed Adewale Tinubu. Instead of Bat, it became Bastard. Adekunle, God bless you. NYSC. Kill on serve the frying brain. You may be laughing, no, I'm serious. So call your family members. What are they? What level are you now? Big mommy. I'm currently at a 400 level. But I don't graduate. Graduation. Graduation, man. No, I'm gonna be done. Kiniko should be done at so. Osha ma sheton time baba abia here. There's so kiniko phone. Show you go NYSC nonsense that they said they are doing. Do not ever let me hear that they post you to Adamawa or they post you to this or that. Do you understand? And you must let me know if you receive any letter that says they post you to anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And you're not going to miss it. You are not going to miss it. Trust me. Because they usually say, oh, how can you go to school and you did not serve? It is worthless now. Nigeria is living on a borrowed time. Here you get. Even Kolu that told you that he wants to create a $1 trillion economy. Some of you didn't get the message, did you? Tinubu want to create $1 trillion economy for his own set of criminals. When they discovered that Bokwari alone and his gang, they made away with over 300 billion US dollars that could have added value to Nigeria. This money developed, they developed wings into the thin air in 8 years, and they cannot trace it. So $1 trillion economy, where businesses are packing up and leaving. And some of you are still telling yourselves that they are leaving because they cannot compete. My worry, no rush. Here you get. Sonwoiku is also telling some investors that he also will need 7 trillion naira to build the infrastructure that is going to put Lagos like that of Johannesburg, South Africa. But this is the same place where Igbos are targeted, their properties destroyed, demolished, their businesses destroyed. And the whole world is seeing that. People would have to start, like the rest of Nigeria, they will continue to move out whenever the opportunity presents itself. Where value is no longer the reason why people are coming to invest anymore. Just promises, waivers from politicians, tax waivers. Nigeria is broke. Nobody is coming to bring any money in. But if Numbu and his gang, they are ready to give anybody waiver. But because they have no real plan, oh God damn it, man. This is what happened, right? They ended up announcing, the same people who are announcing that they want to give everyone the atmosphere, easy peasy atmosphere to do business. Suddenly, they are now saying, if you want to register for business in Nigeria, you have to give them $100,000. And at the end of the day, una go dey ask yourself, where is the $1 trillion economy? Toripeko exists in the real sense. But when you check their pockets, when you check all their stashes, you will see your $1 trillion disappeared. How can Tifnumbu mop up $1 trillion from this contraption in 8 years? Of course, you have no idea what these guys are up to. Dele Alakori, who was supposed to be his Minister of Information, they sent him to natural resources. Anything that has to do with, gold or lithium or this or that, Daily Alakori will be handling that with all of those who are going to help them at least find buyers abroad. Now you go come and ask them, where is the money of how many gold have you sold? In 8 years, we're not going to know where that 1 trillion economy is going to be. But Sanwo-Iku, that met with some business community in Lagos today, he was telling them, Lagos is ready to do business with you. Really? Okay. Let it be on record that while you are destroying multi-billion dollars, what do you call it? People say investment in Lagos, simply because they are Igbos. Listen to me. Those who are going to take their place, they too will know that one way or the other, it's going to be their turn too. Now, let's now see who is going to take, how many of them are going to take the bait. Sanwo-Iku needs 7 trillion so that your business can work well in Lagos. Who is going to give him? Listen.
Very much, gentlemen of the press. Thank you. So we just finished our corporate assembly, which is a meeting with the corporate Lagos, and we're very impressed with the turnout. We've got over 400 to 500 companies here today, and we had a very wonderful interactive session, where we were asked very difficult questions, and all of their issues, the challenges they have with the business community, the challenge they have with us as a state, and some of their concerns that they also have with other federal agencies were brought forward, and we indeed had a very extensive collaborative conversation. There were no disagreements, but there were everybody bringing the issues forward, and I think at the end of the day we were able to see solutions being espoused. We were able to see a resolutions on how we need to be engaging ourselves going further, right? Mr. President has given a tall order. He wants an economy that can get up to $1 trillion by 2030, and for that to happen, Lagos must be in that conversation. It's the economic, commercial nerve center of our country, and the businesses that will make that happen need to be on the same page with Mr. President, and that's the whole essence of our meeting with them. And we've also agreed after 3 hours that there's a need for us to do a follow-up engagement again, and we've agreed to do that within the first quarter next year. But more importantly, to be able to bring other federal government agencies that are critical to their businesses to come forward and be able to take questions and give them solutions and answers that can make them make investment decisions and build this economy. So at our next meeting, we'll be expecting agencies that include the Central Bank, the Nigerian Customs, the FIRS, the NAFDAC, right? Sun organization. These are some of the companies that they've requested for, that we need to have them,
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Jideni is Sanwo-Iku. 7 trillion economy, or 7 trillion to improve it's not what Lagos as a place, okay? It's not something that there are no people who can write the check. How much do you need? Well, we need about $10 billion. We need 10 trillion. In a space of 5 years, we need 10 trillion that are going to be 100% dedicated to infrastructural development, roads and all of that. No corruption, no stealing, no patronage and all of those stuff. We just want to, there are people who can write the check. There are. Because you know what? In that deal, those who are going to write the check of that $10 billion and give it to Lagos, they can get every penny, including profits, back. If they are, if Nigeria is a real place, so they will get profit back, they'll get all their money back, at least in 10 years. Everything, good profits. Because of what Lagos is. But, ladies and gentlemen, these guys in 24 years, from all the revenues that they have taken from people, because that's what they do. When they tell you that they are generating money, to them, it's a good thing, it's a great thing to say, I generated 100 billion. I generated 200 billion. But when you ask them, those who you took that money from, what did they get back in return? Like in their tax return, what did they get back? Businesses who coughed out that money, what did they get back in return from government? They will tell you we are building roads, we are building this or that, but in that same place, there is no road, there is no hospital, there are no schools, there are no there is no electricity, there is no water. All these are provided by people themselves. People have to kind of dig their own borehole to get their own water. They provide their own electricity. Businesses provide their own electricity. All they do is to take from them. Multiple taxation, triple, quadruple taxation, and then come out and say, yeah, we have, do you know how much money we generated this year? How much? That's how much they took from people. That is their own generating taxes. It's all about what they can get, what they can take from you. But the world knows better. Whatever it is that is the potential that that Lagos has right now, it is not being fully utilized because of the greed of few people who have cornered our resources for their own use. And you know, when you are corrupt, you are going to have what is called the tunnel vision. Narrow vision. You are going to be seeing things in your own way. As long as it is going to satisfy your own fantasy, your lifestyle, they will always sound good to you. That is what corruption does to people. Sure, you become so blind that you only hear yourself. And that's exactly the economy they are building. Nigerians are becoming poorer. Your politicians are becoming richer. The avenue of stealing and the rest of that is completely opened. Their intention is not to fix anything. It's to keep them the same way they are, even when they pretended to be doing something, so that they can continue to use them as the reason why you need to continue to give them power. But it's up to you. Like I said, it's completely up to you. In Nigeria, they said if you want to come and invest in Nigeria, the same people who are telling people to come and invest in Nigeria, this is their circular, CAC. If you are coming from outside Nigeria as an investor, you must pay 100,000 US dollars. That is 100 million naira as your paid up capital. That's how much you are going to pay. To them. Now, if you go to Rwanda, that you want to go and start a business in Rwanda and set up a business in Rwanda, this is what you need. To register your company is free. In some countries, with $50 or $20, you can register your company, because that registration is not what really matters to them. What matters to them is what's your business, your turnover, and the taxes they are going to take from you. How many people are you going to employ? That is what government want to use your business for. Government doesn't have any business in business. But in Nigeria, if you are a foreigner who is coming to invest in Nigeria, after fighting tooth and nail to get Nigeria visa, or get Nigeria visa for your worker, for your staff, when you get to Nigeria, you have to pay 100,000 US dollars to the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria. Then that is your business registered. So it will now start, it will be the next stage of building that business. So you now have to go and deal with the real Nigerians who are going to set up your, whether it is factory or whatever it is. So then when you finally build the business, apart from those who are going to be coming to come and take money from you, Nigeria Custom, hey, I don't know if some of you have heard this, but I'm going to tell you tonight. There are Nigerians who are in business with so many foreign nationals in Nigeria. But there is a common story, or there is a common experience that a lot of them have been dealing with all through the time they have been doing their businesses. What corruption is doing to them, I'll tell you. You see, when you want to bring in expatriates to come and work for you in Nigeria, there are some procedures and processes that you have to follow before they get their visa. Now, once they get their visa and they are in Nigeria, okay, now you have the Nigerian immigration that is saddled just like the ICE in America, or the immigration officers in the UK, who always come and pick people up in the middle of the night, or stop you on the road, or come to your place of work to arrest or check your ID. You know, those people outside, they have them in Nigeria too. But the difference is this: when those ones come after you, they believe they are coming after illegal immigrants. You are not supposed to be working, but you are working in their country. You become a legal immigrant. They come after you, right? In Nigeria, even though I'm not saying there are no illegal immigrants in Nigeria who are working without legal papers in Nigeria, I'm not going to say no. But we are talking about those who actually have businesses, whose workers are expatriates. They have all their papers intact. Everything is fine. But the staff or the agents of the Nigerian immigration, they have a squad like that of a SARS of Nigeria Police. That squad goes to businesses where expatriates are working. It doesn't matter the kind of project they are doing for you in Nigeria. But if they know that your firm always hire expatriates to Nigeria to come and work, the Nigerian immigration officers, if you don't want them to be disturbing your expatriates, you will need to befriend the leader of the immigration. Yes, you heard me right. Ask those who have expatriate as staff in Nigeria. They will tell you this. Because if they don't go there to pay them, this is not like you have staff who are illegitimate. Well, even if you have staff who don't have who are illegal, illegal immigrants in Nigeria, how would the immigration know when the deal is that they don't give a damn? Just come and bribe us. You need to come and see us, or else they say Nigerian immigration can just go straight to those businesses, round up all those expatriates, American or German or British or Indian or Pakistani or anywhere you come from, they will pack all of them, okay? And before you know it, deportation straight. You know, it's immigration. They can just cancel your visa. Somebody can just... So one guy shared his story. He brought in expatriate and they are actually doing something, working on his, what have you. Papers, everything fine. Then they called him that he needs to come to so and sooner, because as they are talking now, they've already put, they are about to put all his expatriates, about 12 of them. They're about to put them on the next flight out of Nigeria back to where they come from. And this guy spent so much money to bring these guys in. That means once they did that to him, he's done, he's finished, his business is done for. So he decided to start making phone calls. Finally, he said, somebody gave him a phone number of a minister under Tifnumbu. And that minister put a call through to the Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration. Then they figured out that the person that came to arrest all of those expatriates from his business, they did so because the new guy, who is the controller for that axis in Lagos, is a new guy. They just changed him. In order to show his force, he decided to act because the business owner hasn't come to see her. It's actually a woman, kind of. And these are the decisions that some of these rogues and criminals that are holding sensitive positions in Nigeria are taking. And these actions, they don't show up every day. They don't show up immediately. The consequences of theirs is that you will just be wondering, why are the businesses folding up? What are the government doing to protect them? And then you realize that, if all of them should tell you their stories, what they are going through in the hand of these rogues in Nigeria, and how much they are extorting them, and how are they surviving, you realize that the problem is not competition with other businesses. It is actually the competition of satisfying the insatiable greed of your criminal, public servant and politicians that will eventually chase them out. So if Kolu says they are doing something to give you a business conducive environment, investors should come to Nigeria. But behind the scene, they are making extortive policies. They are looking for who to dip their hands into their pocket, take whatever they can take from them, rob them, and leave them out there cold and dry. The world has really, really grown beyond that. I was going to take calls, but I won't tonight. I'll take calls some other time. But in order to make sure that the propaganda around Dangote Refinery will begin to sink inside the majority of you, they have also said that Port Refinery is about to come live. But don't expect any cheap product. Here you get. I have a video. I don't know why I kind of love engineering per se, but for the first time, I think I'm happy to see the video of the inside of the Port Harcourt Refinery. The same refinery as like others that have gobbled over 28 billion US dollars in the last 24 years alone, and they have produced almost a zilch refined products. So they said that Bokwari and this NNPC also spend money to renovate it, repair it. You know, say they don't repair them, but for the first time, to package their propaganda, they released a video. Me, I'm not interested in every nonsense they are saying, I don't know. I just love the setting of inside the refinery. And at the same time, I shook my head when I saw the video for the first time. Like, now who really, really caused Nigeria? Before I show you that video, Yayi, representing one group inside the Nigeria National Assembly, investigating the NNPC, the fraud therein, non-working refineries, and they ordered for the arrest of the guy in charge, Kyari. Then I'll take you to Port Harcourt. I want you to listen to this, please.
It has come to our notice that the GMD of NNPC has refused to attend any invitation of the National Assembly. And it's very critical that it's part of this because some of the revenue that is to drive this 2024 appropriation bill is attributable to the NNPC. And report reaching me is that virtually all committees have reported to us that GMD of NNPC always find one excuse or the other not to attend the hearing of the National Assembly. And let me put it on record. It is NNPC Nigeria Limited. It is 100% owned by the federal government and is responsible to the federal government and by extension to the three arms of government. What we have only done through the PIB is to make NNPC to be competitive, like the Aramco of this world and other countries of this world that owns a similar organization. So failure to appear or to attend to public hearing is undermining the legislature. And we are hereby directing that within 24 hours, the group managing director of NNPC Nigeria Limited should appear before the Senate Committee on Appropriation, and it should be in company of the MD or ES NUPRC. They should attend. And while coming, they should give us the list of all individuals or companies that is operating in terms of all those companies or individuals that have the OML licenses in Nigeria and the total production output which has been approved for them on a daily basis. We would like to see this list, and he must come with the list. We want to have it. I was reliably informed that the treasurer of the NNPC has been sent to represent him, and I will say, Mr. Treasurer, I will not let you say a word here. Rather,
I command you, let me say a word. So let's just leave that anyway. At a point, they actually ordered for the arrest of Kyari. It's just theatrical. Theater or theater. See, Oyibo get you. You know, they'll say, when you say, me as I am now, what will you call me? Like God created me. Sure you get. And when you say, what will you call me? Like a what? Creature. Until when they told me, like one day, Agbeke's dad was here. And this was me. We're having a chat, very interesting conversation. And I just observed that every time I said, all the creatures, all the God's creatures, every time I said I would just be like, and I'm like, kilon worry late what did they worry this sort with the tumboju je me saw that Danny. Then as Oyinbo go say, oh, creatures. Creatures. No, it's creatures. So creatures. So oh, I actually forgot what I wanted to say to you about that. I'm talking about Oyinbo here, like, you know, when they try to sort of correct you and say, you know, you didn't say that right and all that. But I'm coming. Now dance.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this. Yes, sir.
Ere siata ni. Yorubas understand that you say ere siata ni. And just like I said, what Yayi was doing there is also theatrical. So I wanted to say, you know, say we have a theater where, you know, theater and theater. So theater is where you go and watch films, Abby. Then theater, that one is where you go for operation. Babe, can you hear me? Sorry, which one is what do you call theater or theater? Again? Theater? Which one is that? Where you get operated, right? So which one is where you go to watch movie? I know, but how do you pronounce it? Same word, right? Theater? Theater or theater? Okay. Thank you. So I got that, was like, I was, you know, that is pretty much like a theatrical. Theater. Go to Twitter. Theater. Anyway, let's see. Should we go see, what do you call it? Adiola Yayi, all that is called theatrical. They won't know who is who, where money they, and as much as possible, that is the mission of a call. Because see that different meaning. Oh, different spelling. You're right.
So theater to watch movie is a different spelling to the operation theater.
Right, that's the difference. Okay. Almost the same. Okay, well, the same. Thank you. So, pretty much like theatrical. So I'm just getting lectured on that, which is great. I wish you could sit down there and just like do that partnering and all that, but that's just off the mark. They want to know where this whole thing is. Tell us, so that sure you get, we can know how to get to our $1 trillion economy. But like I told you, when I saw the video of the Port Harcourt Refinery, I was like, oh, I don't know, I just like the whole thing. And I really asked myself, like, now who costs Nigeria? You have about 5 different refineries built. They were working. They were working. They were working at over 50% capacity in 2015 until they got to 0 capacity, despite the billions of supposed dollars they spent. So when I saw that, I was like, okay. So they said that it's coming on now. But you know me say you could get cheap oil. We'll just go through the tunnel, see waiting. They built, and still, you Nigerians, you were supposed to be butchers. We can't chop bones. And you're like patate and jegogo. Butchers speaking where they chop bones like dogs. You have oil, crude oil. The same crude oil that they have in UAE, they have in Saudi Arabia, they have in all these places, and they are actually living the life of people who get crude oil and get other resources. But in Nigeria, AFIBAP. Now they said the refinery in Port Harcourt is coming on, and if they turned some light on, because yes, but me I know say na propaganda. I know say na one of those media stunty. So that one of these they will tell you they are only waiting for the plug. Now, one single plug they will bring from Norway. That is why Port Harcourt Refinery is yet to be producing anything. Propaganda, Abi. But about love engineering, if you love engineering, right? Take a look at these massive resources. That politicians in Nigeria intentionally made redundant, useless, and as a conduit pipe to siphon the public fund. But for now, they said, I don't like that. I've already sort of cut off all those sound, and I don't want, I don't want them to come back and say, oh yeah, that sound there at what do you call it? Copyright nonsense, okay? So I'm going to say, give me a sec. I will be back. But until then, kind of take this one
about the relationship between money and power. They're very uncomfortable bedfellows because the one normally seeks the other. What is the point of having a lot of money if you have no power? So very quickly, rich people start trying to translate that wealth into power. They start cozying up to politicians. They start trying to be politicians. And the opposite is also true. What is the point of having all this power and you're poor? So politicians start trying to monetize their power into wealth. And that is where corruption starts. So the relationship between money and power really is one that, if not managed well, destroys countries. And it's...
Right. So, you know what? I'll show you that some other time. My time is up now, and I'm going to say thank you to those of you who have spent your evening with me tonight. And tomorrow is another night, okay? So when I come on, we can have an extensive conversation afterward, okay? So thank you. And remember, before you go tonight, go on and like that video. That is your own offering. And if you have done it already, don't do it again so that you don't take it back. So thank you to every one of you. I will see you some other time, okay? And until then, stay safe. And you have a wonderful night. And weekend too. Good night.
mọ̀ tó jódodo.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Maiyegun Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
òkúra olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ó fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì